Hello, my name is Stian Broen and I'm CEO at Broen Tech Solutions. Today I'm going to show you an open source project that I wrote for desktop, written in C++ and Qt, and it's used for drawing. First of all, I will show you that you can read more about this project if you go to our webpage, broentech.no, and to our expertise, and into native applications. At the bottom you can see the articles, and you click on SDRAW, which is the working name of this project. And here you can see an article where I explain about the different things you can do in this application. And now I will first show you what the application looks like, what you can do with it, and after that I will talk just briefly about the code. So I will run the application, and this is what it looks like. So it doesn't contain a lot of things, as you can see. So as I told you in the introduction, this application is about drawing. So there is some ways in which you can draw different kind of things, and I will show you how to do that. So at the top here you can see there is file menu containing just some basic things, pretty safe, self-explaining things. And below there is a toolbar containing 3 items, as you can see here. If you click on the blank sheet there, you get this dialog where you can create basically a new canvas for drawing. So let's make a new canvas. And you can set the size. Let's make this a little bit bigger, like this, for instance. And here's your canvas. And as you can see, this central widget of the application is a multi-document interface, so you can have many canvases open at the same time. So I can make another one like this. There it is, if I want to. And now let's have a little bit more closer look at the GUI. So you can see on the toolbar on the far left there are 3 items. Then there is a separator, and then there are some items below. And the items you see below here will show depending on the item you have chosen above the separator. So you can see when I change them, they will change. This is because I wanted to make the interface clean and not show any more things that than you need to see at the same time. So let's have a look at these items. Each item represents a separate widget. So we can begin with the first one, which is how you can define the pen for drawing. So you see here, this basically reflects some of the options that are available in the QPainter class. And as you can see, there is a running demo that is using the pen that is currently defined, that it automatically is drawing. So you can see if we change the pen, the automatic drawing will also change accordingly. And the second widget is to define what do you want to draw, the shape. So you can choose different shapes. Here we can see if you click or just don't click anything. The default selection area is no shape, which means you can just draw freely. Then there is the rectangle. A line. Ellipse. And the arc, pi, and chord, they work pretty much the same way, so I will just show you the pi. You click and drag once to define the radius of a circle, like that. Then you can drag this around to make a cake like that, for example. And then you can also make a rounded rectangle, and you can define the angles that you want for it in this widget here. And you can see also that the button is updating accordingly to show you how this will impact the drawing before you draw it. Let's see how it is going to look like. Yes. And in the canvas window, you can see these are the undo and redo actions, and you can click those to undo and also to redo. As you can see, there are some bugs still in this code that should probably be fixed at some time. But just to see how this works. And the third menu basically doesn't contain anything other than letting you select if you want to draw using anti-aliasing or not. So I'll just leave this on. And I'll just change a little bit the pen again here into, yeah, like that. And I'll draw some stuff that will help me explain the next thing a little bit. So basically this is one of 3 things you can do with this application, which is just simply drawing on a canvas. And if you select this bucket here, you get to see the actions that are relevant for filling. And as you can see, this item changed into a brush when I chose the bucket, because shapes they are not relevant for filling, but a brush can be. So let's see this widget. For filling a structure, you can choose which pattern would you like. This one is the uniform color pattern, which basically does what you might think it will do. It will just fill. And the color wheel, when you change it, you can see also the buttons are also updating to reflect what this will look like when you start a drawing. So let's see what we can do now when it's selected a uniform color on this red. You see now when I move the cursor over the canvas, there is a line showing up that goes from the cursor and to the right. And if you see, if I move it on this shape, it will stop at the border of this circle and at the border, the outside of the border of this. And you can also put it on the inside. And when I click now, what will happen is that the program will travel pixel by pixel, beginning at the tip of the cursor until it will find a pixel that has a different color from where it started, which will be red here. Then it's going to travel along to create a polygon, which will basically be what is going to be filled. So let's try that. I click there, and you see it created a red filling for that one. Let's just try another pattern to see how that might look like. For example, that one. Let's change the color also, just for fun, like that. Yeah. I'll just undo those. And let's see those three patterns that you see here on the bottom right of the patterns group box is gradients. So you have a linear gradient and a radial gradient and also conical gradient. And if you, as you see, when you select them, you can also choose which kind of spread would you like. And the buttons, they are changing, as you can see, accordingly to give you a brief preview. Let's explore the linear gradient first. So when you choose this one, the gradient editor is enabled, and it's used to specify the gradient. So you see you have some arrows you can drag back and forth to define the position of the colors in the gradient. You can change the color of the gradient on the arrow. So the arrow that you clicked on last time is going to be the active one, which will receive a color from the color wheel here. And you can also add another arrow. You can add as many arrows as you want. So I added another one here in between, and now let's just give it the color like this. And I will show you also that you can set the transparency level of each color. Let's change this a little bit. You can see also the background of the gradient widget is shining through when the color gets more transparent. And notice also the bottom buttons, they reflect the change to give you a preview how it will look like. And if you want to make the background shine through differently, you can also set how large do you want the spacing on the grid on the back in the background. So if this makes sense for you to have it larger, you can make it larger like that. Yeah. So let's see how this will look like now. We can make a linear gradient in this cube. So it works like this. First you click once to make it create a polygon. Then you click again somewhere else, for example there, to set the first position. And you can see that I now get this line here, and when I click again I will specify the end point of the linear, and when I click again the program has everything it needs to know to create the gradient. So I click and there it is. Let's look at maybe this spread, this now this radial gradient, to see how that one looks like. So let's create all of those into this circle here, like that, for example. Yeah, looks a little weird, but there it is. And I will also show you something, the third option here is, I just call it segmentation, but it's basically will let you do some transformation on the image. So let's see how the widget that goes along with it looks like. It looks like this. So to make a transformation, you need to create a region of interest, and in the shapes group books let you define how you would like to define the region of interest. And this project actually is, I never actually got the time to finish it, so there are something here that's not implemented, but rectangle shapes working. Polygon is rather buggy, so I will not show that. And the free draw was going to work exactly like Polygon, but it's not implemented at all. And in the transformation group box, you can see the different kind of transformation that are available. And in the option, you can choose some stuff that is relevant for the transformation that you have chosen. So let's begin with making a region of interest. I will make one around this rectangle, like that. So now you see I made a region of interest. It has 8 small boxes that you can use to drag to change the geometry of the region of interest, like that. And this will let you have actually as many region of interest as you want. So I can make one more, and you can also choose to deactivate a region of interest by clicking on it. Then now you see it became gray, and then it means that it's not going to be affected by the transformation, but it's still there, so you can activate it later if you want to work with many regions of interest at the same time. You can do that. So I activate again, and I will show you how the move transformation is working. It's basically translating. So if I click and I drag, you can see what happened. I was actually moving them to another place. I moved the region of interests to another place, and the content inside of it came along, but the original content, it stayed there. And it's actually because well, I did not finish program everything here yet, so it was supposed to go away, but you see I have this clone option here. This is what is supposed to happen when you clone it like that. But yeah, so I will show that if I have this region here, see now only this one is moved around. I deactivated the other one. I can also press delete, and I delete it, and or at least the content of it. Yeah, I'll just put that one over there again. And let's play a little bit with this. I will make the region a little bit larger, and we'll now show you another transformation, and the rotate. So if you click on rotate, you can rotate the content in the region of interest by just clicking anywhere inside the region of interest and dragging like that. You can select which axis you want to rotate, and you can select any of them like that. And you can select all of them, which is a little chaotic, so probably not the best option, but yeah. And you can scale the component. It works the same way. Just if you want to make it larger or smaller, you can do that. And you can share, which is kind of strange thing here if you want to do it like that, for example. Yeah. Yeah. Now I will show you one final thing that you can do. If you hold the control button and you have a mouse with the scrolling, you can do zooming, and the zooming is kind of targeting where your cursor is. So you see this point will stay more or less the same if I don't move the mouse, and if I move it over here, you see it's zooming towards the cursor like that. And you can also hold shift to pan it around. Like that. And that's basically that's it basically. And yeah, you can also open an image if you want something to paint on top of, like that. Oh yeah, so as you can see, there are still some bugs here. Anyway, this project is I began to program it was 5 years ago, more or less, because I just wanted to get better at programming with Qt and C++, and that was kind of my motivation for doing it. And now I decided to port it into a newest version of Qt and put it on GitHub on a GPL license, in the hope that someone will have any use of this and maybe want to continue working with it, or using as a starting platform for your own application. So I will just very briefly show you how the code looks like. It's pretty. If you worked with Qt before, you will recognize this stuff. The main is basically pretty short, as most of Qt applications are. You see the libraries that I have here. So for example, for the zooming that I showed you, it has its own library. The zoomer is basically an object, Q object, which you set to handle basically just a rectangle, and you feed it points, and you say what you want to do. You want to zoom in or out or pan, and you will get a target rectangle in return, which you can give to the cube painter to give it an effect of zooming. The selection library takes care of the region of interests things I showed you, and this is probably the library I got that is the least completed and has the most bugs. So the rectangular, there is a selection keeper that keeps, you can see here, if I can find it, yeah, here we can see that it has a list of polygon selections and a list of rectangular selections. That was what we saw. That's how you can have more than one region of interest like that. And a rectangular selection class, for example, like this, is a class that handles all like the operations that you can do on a rectangular region of interest. So yeah, not much more to need to be said about this. And the SDRAW widgets contains all the different widgets that we saw, and I made all of them except for the cute color triangle, which is you can see it is a cute widget. And there was actually one widget that we did not see, and that was the color widget. It's basically just a palette. I don't use it anymore because I think the color triangle looks better. But yeah, this is something I made that just lets you select color. And the other ones we saw those already. The gradient colors, for example, is the here you see the arrow class, and you see there is a hash of arrows being handled in the colors view. The colors gradient colors view is basically the strip that you saw that contains the actual strip with the gradient on it, and the widget that contains this strip is also defined here. You can see. Yeah. Settings is since there is so many parameters on that lets you choose how to draw something. I chose to make a it's a singleton class actually, so there is not too much signals connected to signals connected to signals connected to slots and those things. So instead there is a singleton that can be accessed from anywhere in the process, application process, with the shape settings, pen settings, and brush settings. Yeah, and those are defined here in the same library, as you can see. DrawLib is the library that does the drawing. So let's see, for example, draw 2D. You can see the different functions for drawing. For example, rounded rectangle, it contains here, and this basically what it does is that it creates this instances of this class, which basically is small pictures that are joined in the end to show the content of the canvas. And this is the way you need to do it if you want to have undo and redo. So which I will show more about that in a minute. The draw board, it is a poor choice of name. Basically, it should just be called it the canvas, because that's what it is. And but anyhow, the drawboard class, you can see here. You can see there is a map of these PixMap segments that you saw that the SDRAW is creating, and this, if you see, this is pretty small class, but it contains the undo and the redo functions and inherits from the q-undo command, and they are put into this object. You see push, I receive one of those and I push it into the undo stack, and the undo stack is q-undo stack. It's a Qt class, so that's how that works. The rest, yeah, I can talk a little bit also about the algorithms library. The most, it's basically just it's just about one function, and it's the function is called polygonize border, and it takes a point and a buffer as argument, and it gives you a polygon back, which is the border of the buffer. As I showed you, it's going to travel from a white pixel until it finds something that is different, and then based on that you can actually, if you I'll just show you one thing that can be interesting. If you look, there is something called print ASCII expl. I have not defined it now because I wanted the application to run faster, but if you define this one, the precompiler is going to allow some more code into the executable, or actually the object file, which will print something on the standard output, explaining what is happening. So if you want to really see what this algorithm does, then you go here. If I remember correctly, yeah, you can just comment this inside again. There you see. Let's put breakpoint there. And it's compiling, so we wait for it to finish. Yes, we'll make a canvas, draw, yeah, something easy, circle like that, and if you click now, we can begin debugging. And in the output, you can see the neighborhood of pixels, and the NP just is for mid pixel, and you see where the X's are. This is the edge. So now you will see how it's basically searching in the neighborhood to create the polygon. So that's how it works. And the source code, I put it on GitHub. You can use it as you want to. It's a LGPL license. So I put it there, hoping that it can be useful for somebody. And that concludes it more or less. Thank you for watching this video, and please, if you want to, you can leave a comment on the webpage, on the comment section there, and yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and keep coming back to our page to look for more articles about other projects that we are working with at Broen Tech Solutions. Thanks for watching.